here's Brody Brazil.
Well, the voicemail line is open globally, as in anywhere in the world. You can call in to 8334-BRODY. Let me know what's on your mind, a question, a comment, or any type of contribution to this YouTube channel. I do listen to every single call. Then I get to play back and respond to the very best ones.
Hi, Brady. My name's Mike from Columbus, Ohio. I'm actually a lifelong Pittsburgh Pirates fan, and I really liked your video that you just put out wrapping up the past season for the Pirates and all the things that have been happening. And, knowing that Ben Cherington's been retained and that they're probably not going to increase the payroll next year, after all these years of being angry about what's going on with the Pirates, I'm just sad at this point. And I'm also very scared. And what I'm scared about is that the lease at PNC Park comes up in 2030.
That's right.
And I hate to say this, but a lot of the actions that Bob Nutting has been taking is very reminiscent of the ownership of the Oakland A's. So it makes me wonder, are they thinking about maybe moving the Pirates? Are they thinking about, after the inevitable lockout after next season, especially if for some reason the owners do not get a salary cap? I'd love to hear your opinion on this. And once again, I really do enjoy your YouTube videos. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Mike, thank you very much for the heartfelt call. I can tell you're totally invested in this situation and conversation. And I just want to say one thing I recently saw was Pirates fans going out to the old site of Forbes Field, doesn't exist anymore, where they still, every year on the anniversary of Game 7 of the 1960 World Series, they play out the audible radio call of Bill Mazeroski's walk-off homer to win what I think was the Pirates' third World Series ever. Like, they have that tradition. Pirates fans are great. Pirates fans don't deserve to be in this situation where now all of a sudden frustration is turning into nervousness about the way the franchise has been run, how political leaders in the city of Pittsburgh or the state of Pennsylvania, how they might butt heads over a lease that does expire, I think, in 2030, or is it after the 2030 season? But the bottom line is that it's coming up. And Mike, you also bring up the situation of the Oakland A's. I'm pretty sure you mentioned that and reference it because I was entrenched in that as pretty much anybody else. So I'm not here to say that I'm the default expert on it, but I can look at this with some experience on both sides and tell you the similarities and the differences. I think there are some things that are scary in terms of how similar they are, but there are also some differences here. I don't know that the differences are actually that reassuring. Let me explain this here. Pirates being like the A's, are they going to end up in a similar fate? Well, the similarities can start at the basic level of the team and a lack of spending and a lack of committing to players. And just like it was a Matt Olson and a Matt Chapman and a Marcus Semien and a Sean Murphy, and we can go back over all the years, it's a Paul Skeens right now in Pittsburgh. What are you going to do with Paul Skeens? No other Major League Baseball team that's serious about winning looks at Paul Skeens and says, all right, well, we'll get a trade piece in free agency. No. They look, a trade piece to boost the team. They look at Paul Skeens and say, no, this is our backbone. This is our foundation. This is our anchor. This is the player and the starting pitcher that we absolutely want here. So again, there is that similarity, lack of commitment, lack of spending. There's the whole sell movement of the fan base. Did you see opening day 2025 at PNC Park? There was a plane flying over the stadium, sell the team, Bob. There were people with shirts. There were people with bags over their heads. There's already that movement among the fan base and that show of displeasure for the ownership. Like, that is a huge similarity. That's also very much not a good thing. The difference here is that the A's in between all of this, right? The stadium situation with the Coliseum and the fans being super upset at ownership, the A's found a way to win in between, like 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20. Like, they had some streaks in recent times to like maybe distract you from all of the rough stuff that was going on with team ownership and how they handled the franchise. Like, the Pirates literally have 3 winning seasons since Barry Bonds was on the Pirates and was at 92 or 93. And those 3 seasons were, I think, 13, 14, 15, 14, 15, 16. They were 3 seasons in a row. Those are the only 3 winning seasons. Winning record seasons by the Pirates. Unbelievable. So there is a difference there. Like politicians in Pittsburgh and in the state of Pennsylvania, they can point at the Pirates and say, well, you don't even do well on the baseball field, let alone off it. At least the A's had the distraction factor of, well, they win games, they find a way. See, it's not that bad. But in reality, the baseball and the business sides are 2 different things. The bigger difference here is that the Pirates have beautiful PNC Park, which is only, 25, 30 years old? The years always get forgotten in my head on specifics of stadiums, but it's around the 30-year mark. It's regarded as, honestly, I can say this, easily top 5, probably even top 3 in Major League Baseball. The scenery, the setting, the location, the design, everything is great about it. And it does probably need some upgrades coming up, and it does probably need some funding for infrastructure. I don't know how that's going to go as part of this lease. I think the Pirates have been getting a pretty good lease deal on what they pay. Now, who's going to pay for the stadium upgrades? Pittsburgh says they're already strapped for things like that. They're probably not going to be able to fund it, so who will? The biggest X factor here, it's not the stadium, right? Like the A's could always point at the Coliseum and say, well, we got to get away from this. We got to get away from this. The Pirates can't really say we got to get away from this. And that's why I don't think they'll be using any leverage to try and get away from Pittsburgh. I think what's going to happen is that the city of Pittsburgh and local politicians like Councilwoman Theresa Kail Smith, she wants to meet with the team. I want to be fair. She's not putting pressure on them. She literally said in some quotes, I want to work with them to try and figure out, how can we do better? How can you win games? How can we help you win games so that our fans are happy, our taxpayers are happy, we can get a deal here? She's trying to see it from the most optimistic angle. I fear that as 2030 gets closer, and when this lease expires, that politicians are going to say, yeah, you don't run a good baseball team, you don't run a good business, we don't even want to do a lease with you. And then it starts. So the point is probably, in the 27, 28, 29 calendar year, we start to get into this weird situation where I don't think the Pirates are going to say, well, this park is terrible, we need a new one, or we're trying to move to Nashville. But they're not stupid. They've seen the playbook by other teams. They know how they get what they want. They use that threat. Now, nobody has used a threat yet, nor should you honestly be able to. Literally just look at one photo of PNC Park and tell me you want to leave that. It's ridiculous. Or the fan bases of respective Pittsburgh teams, like the Pirates and Steelers. They're well established. We know what Pittsburgh is as a sports city. It's not that. I just worry about the collision that's impending here. I don't think the Pirates are going to force this, but I don't think the Pirates are going to help this. By being and continuing to be who they are and who they've been, zebras don't change their stripes. I think that's what's to worry about here. They don't change. Pittsburgh gets fed up with this. There's a date of expiration here, and that's going to make a new lease agreement very sticky, at the very least. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I close? Am I far? I appreciate the call and this conversation. Honestly, it's why I've been covering a lot of the Pirates situation. I do, in the back of my mind, worry a little bit that it's not going to go identically the same as what happened in Oakland, but there are enough similarities. Comments down below, thumbs up there too. I appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would love to see you back here next time.